So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome on to this amazing session, our Forever session. Thank you very, very much for joining us this afternoon. And I know I asked you to start your video. Okay, turn on my camera. Second, everyone. So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. We're really, really excited to share, what we do, how we motivate our teams. And, I hope that this would actually add value to your businesses and obviously take your business to another level. I'm really excited that I've been given this opportunity. So I really want to thank the head office for all you do and for you allowing me and trusting me and leaving all these people's lives in my hand today for about 40 minutes, sharing how I motivate my family. And it's my pleasure also at the end when I finish my little conversation with you all, Arlene Sampson will be sharing a testimony with you. And then of course, if you do have any questions, please make sure that you drop them in the Q&A and we'll answer all the questions as much as we possibly can. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Buki Olonya. I'm a soaring manager, and I'll tell you a little story about myself just before I go on. So I'm one of those who actually started this amazing journey with Forever in 1997, on the 30th of May, 1997, I started my journey with Forever. And to be really honest, I didn't see money at the time. And I always say this, it wasn't because I had money, it was just because it was really more about my health. So I was looking to get well. Of course, I didn't even think I was going well, but I had a condition and I was really looking for, just for wellness. And so when I met with the company, all I just wanted to do was try the products because I heard that the products are amazing and they can make me well. And so I started really with the products. And, I'd like to really honestly say that because I started with the products, I believe that that's probably why I'm still here today, because I trusted the products. The products worked for me, over-delivered, and I was able to share. And of course, I love to tell stories. Because I love to tell stories, I just share stories all the time. I've been out today and I keep telling my story to whoever wants to listen. So for me, it was just right off my streets, telling stories. So without much ado, I'm going to just go right into the training. I do apologize if I missed out any introduction, do forgive me. I just want to get into the training. So it says, how do I keep myself and my team motivated? Well, that's really exciting. I pray that the team are here and I don't get into trouble after this, but it's the honest truth that I'd like to share with you this afternoon. So for me, I believe in relationships, and I always say that relationships matter. One of the reasons that, thank you, Sam. One of the reasons why I believed in relationship is because you think about it for a moment. You offer someone an opportunity, you ask them to go watch a movie, and they come back and they say, you know what, that was not good. Will they trust you another time? Not really. So I always really cherish the relationships around me. So my sales relationships, and of course, when I started to build my team, I realized that relationship is more than understanding people. It's making people feel understood. And that was really one of the things and why we're all still here today. And so what were we doing with relationships? So we would talk about finding like-minded people who understood you, or people who at least had something in common with you, because it's really important working with somebody who has something in common with you, not necessarily the same goals, but something that you could aspire together to work towards in their own time and in your own time. And we also had we made sure that our why was not forced upon one another. So you didn't have to want to have a car, you didn't want to have a big house. All we knew is that we were on a journey, and we had to hold each other and make sure that we arrived at our different destinations. This is how I define a relationship. I said, we get on a bus and we start to chat and make friends with one another. We all know that we're getting off at different destinations. And what do? We take our details and say, do you know what? I've really enjoyed hanging around you. And I hope I can see you at the end of the journey. So we all know that our journeys are different. But what we do is we respect each other. We understand each other's why it's different. We don't put pressure on one another. We know that there are boundaries. So the boundaries are, do not pressure me. I know why I'm here. And that's one of the relationships that we've built and has allowed us to remain together. And you know, I found that relationship is when you're all connected. You're all connected and you all sort of think and care about one another, but there's no pressure about having to do things the same way. So respect is a big thing for us. And if the team are here, they know I respect people's privacy and, you know, I will not overstep my boundary, and we learn to do that with one another. Thank you so much, Sam. The next slide, please. And then we set clear goals. Because you see, the thing is, it's not, we establish that it's not a social club. It's a business, but it's a business in a different family environment. So, you know, we have to set the goals that we need to succeed. So when you set a goal, your brain opens up to a task list. And that's so true, because even though there are no boundaries and we all have different whys and there's a relationship going, we understand that we have work to do. So what do? Let me just list you a few things that we do. So we make sure that the 4CC, that what we need to be doing, building our customer base, making sure that we know the products, all those tasks that come with building your business is established. And, you know, there are levels. So people come in and say, well, this is all I want. I just want to use the product. And, you know, you don't impose on them and say, I think you really need to start to do the business now. No, we allow them to focus on their why. Remember, I talked about the why in the relationship. So they focus on that. There are people who clearly let me know that I'm here for the money. And then, of course, we focus on that for them as well. And there are people who have one leg in the money and one leg out in the products. And we also appreciate, I've had to grow to learn to do this myself, because in the past, you know, we're there and we're thinking, you should do the business. The business is really amazing. It's important that, you know, you make money, you know, your family needs it. But who says so? They know what their family needs, and I've had to learn to respect that. And also there's consistency. So even though there is a family relationship, there is consistency. So we actually live up to our words. I actually say, let your yea be nay, yea, and your nay be nay. So if you can't do, and you're not sure that it's for you, or the pressure, let us know so that you're enjoying the journey. Because unless you enjoy being in a relationship with one another, then there's no success really. So we make sure that, you know, there's consistency, because consistency is equal to growth. We also, part of the task that we put together is we make sure everybody has to have a goal board. So your goal board doesn't have to have cars and houses and beaches and stuff. No, it has to be, again, remember, it has to be your journey, but you need something to reference all the time. And it's also important that we share our daily activities. We do that on the team. So whatever I'm doing, I'd send it out for the team to have a little look every day. And I've realized that everyone has started to do that. You know, I mean, it's still work in progress, but I make sure that I send my task list daily, so they know that I'm not just telling, I'm doing as well as showing them. Thank you so much. And then of course we use the products. So part of the targeted goals is you must use products, and you must use a minimum of 5 to 10 products, so that you at least have something to share when you need to share your products and your business opportunity. Thank you, Sam. The next slide, please. And then, of course, personal development is key. That's the number one thing with me and the family. I call them the family, the Diamond Lifestyle family. Is so important, because, you know, when you're personally developed, you find that, you know, naturally you're motivating yourself. I don't have to motivate anyone, to be really honest. When I first started the business, I'm going to be honest with you, I think I have to do this. I have to send them things. I have to do this. But I need to realize that you can't do that because you're sending information that might not really resonate with somebody else. So all we're learning, so what we learn to do is find what really motivates us. So if you're persistent, you will get it. If you're consistent, you would keep it. So we've learned that consistency is key. You've got to just keep doing it and keep doing it. And trainings help us. I'm not a boss. I know some people say, oh, I need to talk to my boss. And I said, well, I'm just like you, really. I've just been a few years older than you in the business. And then we develop, we become almost like a specialist in our own fields. And what we do really, we unlearn certain habits. Because think about it for a moment. If you've been in an authoritative position in a work, we don't mean to be like that, but sadly it's in us, and we throw our weights around a little bit sometimes and say, you need to do this, you need to be doing your 4CC, it's imperative that you do this, you need to be showing up at the meetings. But what I've learned over the years, it doesn't work. So what we do is first of all, we talk about unlearning so that we can learn. Because when you haven't unlearned something, there's no space to learn anything new. So we unlearn so that we can learn new skills that are needed to succeed. We also re-educate our mind because, a lot of us live on an assumption. I don't think they would do it. I don't think she would do it. I'm not sure she's going to like it. But what we've learned, who says they won't? And who says they will? We don't know. But our job is to share. So we have to learn to be confident, to be brave, to share. Also, we need clarity, because what personal development does that we found in the team is you end up using the right words. When I first started, oh my God, my words were atrocious. When I think about some words that I used when I first started this business, I think I should have been put in jail probably, because I was just saying, you've got to use it. It's so amazing. You've got to do it. But I realized that you cannot use those words. People need to have an option. They need to know whether they want to use the products. They need to know whether they want to even be in business with me or in business with my team members. People need options. And that's something that I had to learn and share with the team as well. Also, it strengthens the ability to stick to it. Because when you learn, then your emotions don't run away with you. Yesterday we had a training and I said, did you know that your emotions won't pay the bills? So you got to learn to put it in a little closet while you go and put the activities in place. So that's what we're learning. And that's what personal development does. And we also read. We actually read. We have books that we designate and we read. And personal development also helps you to focus, because you're learning about yourself. You're learning about other people. You're learning that you cannot bully your way through this. This is a lifestyle business, apart from being a lifestyle product. And you cannot bully people into success. People want it or they don't want it. Or some people actually want it. They probably don't like the style that you're showing them to have it. And also, it also allows us, personal development allows you to manage your stress level. I've had loads of stress, but I've had to learn to manage, not put it upon the team, not snap at the team, not coming with an attitude, not coming, when I'm feeling really rotten, not showing up and then just throwing my weight about. Because people, to be really honest, they deserve respect, and it's important that we box that thing and we learn. It also creates more chances of winning. So if you learn, if you develop, if you read books, new words, I'm Nigerian by culture, by raising, but I've had to learn to use the right words. If I was meant to be doing this training maybe about even 6 years ago, I'd be using some really strange words. And it'd be words that I understood, but it might come out as very pushy. So I've had to learn words, if that makes sense. Also, it speeds up, personal development speeds up your growth. Because when you develop that person, because we all have another person inside us. And I would like you to leave here today thinking, there is somebody else inside me who wants better. And that person is just stuffed away somewhere because of words, because I haven't learned to help that person come out of that hiding place. And also, you know, we have, like I said, a reading club where we all share what we've read and we apply it to what we're doing. Thank you so much, Sam. The next slide, please. And also, this is really key for us, encouraging a work-life balance. I learned this when I first started. I tell you, my life was total chaos, total chaos. I was married, but I was living like a single parent because my husband was out of the country. I had 2 young girls. I had to make ends meet. And honestly, the meetings, sometimes I'll be thinking, I can't, it's too much. I really can't. I've got to, and my daughters were in private school. I had to take them down tonight, I had to take them to do this. It was just too much, but I needed the business. Can you see? And I needed the money, but I just needed a balance. So what we've learned to do is understand that there is a life before. There was a life before the business came in. Everything in life has to have a balance. And so we honor, the first thing we do is we honor our beliefs. We're of different beliefs. The Christians, the Muslims, the people who just generally believe in the universe. So we learn to give that respect. We also, during this Easter break, what we chose to do was we decided that there was going to be no work, at least coming from me. So there was no meetings and people could go off and go on holiday and enjoy with their families. Because I think that sometimes the pressure allows people to resent. I think that word resent, oh my God, there we go again. And some people are there, they're not there. They think, oh, let me just go, I don't want it to get cross. I'm not saying with me, but generally with meetings, because, you know, we don't want the upline to get cross. But what we do is different. As you know, we would, and we have a consensus and we say, what do you think? I would ask them, what do you think? And they would all voice out that, can we have this time off? And so when we do that, we find that by the time we come back, there's no excuse for not doing your 4CCs. There's no excuse for not showing up at the meetings. It also encourages to fit in our business into our lives. Raising your children, cooking, having date nights. I remember one of my young team members, we actually sat down and I said, you need a date night. You need to keep him sweet. You need to make him happy so he can give us peace to run the business. So I think it's really important to allow the teams to live so that they can actually enjoy the business. And we also encourage honesty in terms of, you know, if you cannot show up at the meetings, don't put pressure. Don't put pressure. If you can't show up, just say, look, it's not convenient. You know, people would message and say, sorry, I can't show up. And we don't take it against it because anything could happen at any time. And so we allow people to also focus on areas of their choice, which is really helping us to grow. Also, we find out what days can you show up. We have several meetings and people are allowed to pick the days that they can show up. And so it's not, you must be there, you must be there, you must be there. So we allow people to live because remember, there was a life before forever. And so we have to respect that. We also establish in the work life, establish the strength behind this word. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. There is a strength behind that. And the strength is, we're here. I'm here. The team is here. So sort things out, but we are here, but don't take advantage of. And consistency is key as well. Thank you so much, Sam. The next slide. And then also collaboration is really key because I believe, and again, I'm going to go back to myself. When I first started, it seemed like, even to me, that I was the most unserious team member downline ever, FBO owner, because I just had so much going. I just had, and it wasn't because I didn't want the business. I just couldn't get stuff around my head, how to sort out my life. So what we do is we advocate team leading for themselves. You know, I teach people to meet with their teams directly and not look up at me as the boss. I often say that if you keep calling me to come and help you, they wouldn't respect you. They'd be waiting for me. So you need to build your trust. You need to understand, you need to grow, and you've got to be responsible for your team. Of course, we have the big house. You're in the big house, they're flats. So you've got to take care of your own flat and the tenants in there. And of course, we've got to also care for, team members develop their own abilities. Because when you're like, it's like a child. And, I remember when my children were young, they had to make their beds, they had to take off their uniforms, they had to put it in the washing basket, they had to put their shoes away, they had to do some little chores, and they had to do some washing. So they would stand on the stool and do the washing. And so they took responsibility. And I believe that as much as we're running a family, there is a responsibility in place. The responsibility is everybody parenting. When I say parenting, not bullying, not pushing, not dragging, but parenting, this is what you need to do. This is what happens in homes, because I generally say at home that if we all put our hands and do stuff, actually, did you know, I was going to ask this question, did you know that running a family is network marketing? We just don't get paid for it. Because if you and your husband and your children had your chores and you did your chores, what we're finding here is that we can actually have a movie night. But if I get to go shopping and I get to do the cooking and I get to do the this and I get to do the that, I get miserable. So you're actually running network marketing in your families. The only difference is you don't get paid. The beauty about Forever is we get paid by helping other people run their businesses. So it's so important to allow your team members to have their own independence, to build that relationship. Because remember, friends trust friends and friends work with friends. And then it doesn't seem like selling, calling an upline all the time. Okay, thank you. And then, yes, the next slide, please. Thank you. We absolutely love this. Did you know we had the most amazing Christmas party last year, 2020, online? It was fantastic. We were online for 3 hours. I danced, and I don't think I've ever regained my weight that I lost over Christmas. I danced, and it was freezing cold. Remember, it was really cold, and I was pouring with sweat. And I said to my daughters, I shouldn't have worn this dress. I should have worn a spaghetti top. It was one of the most beautiful. Because what we do is, as much as we do well and we work, we socialize as well. You can see me with some of the team members back in Nigeria there, and the dress code actually was Victoria's idea. I just had to, I get told what to do by the team, by the way, in case you'd like to know. I'm really not the upline, they're the uplines. I just get told what to do and what to wear. And then in the corner again is Nigeria as well, myself and Doreen Thomas, and we were there was a training out there and everybody, so you can see, and down in the corner is the UK team, all in white. We just think, and in the corner here you can see there's a color code as well, there's blue, there's pink. We just do stuff just to make sure that, people don't feel used and they're important. And, recognition also, we have dinner parties, we celebrate people's birthdays. So remember, we're a family. So even though there's work, we know that there's a family behind work as well. And, we have times to chat about work. We have times to chat about the team. So we have times when people just come and, we don't generally moan. I think we're generally happy. And then we have times for personal. So there is a celebration, an entertaining factor behind us as well. And all these things keep us going. Thank you, Sam. The next slide. And then, of course, recognition. This is key. So this is one of the team members back in Nigeria, and she was recognized in Nigeria for doing 50 cc's. And I thought that because I'm not there, I could actually give her a treat. So this hotel is a treat for myself, my own finances. And I said, you've done really well. So they were there for 4 days with her family and her 2 babies. And she said she had an amazing time. And, these are things that I do. Also, we have like little, not quiz really, they don't know that it's coming. When I just say, okay, here's a present. And we've got a secretary and she just does that. And people get little presents for achievements, not necessarily achievements in the business, to be really honest with you, just things that people do that they don't even know that it's been taken note of. So it just depends really. And the recognition, it builds self-worth, makes you feel special, and it also motivates you to do better. And it also shows that, you know, somebody cares, aside of your husband, aside of your mom. So recognition has been, I love presents. I love presents. You know, I absolutely love, I asked the team for presents, and I say, guys, you know, I'm giving you presents. It's nobody, and Victoria's promised to build me a house. I don't know how that's going to happen, but, you know, but yes, so recognition is a really, really big part, because, you know, we're not case credits, we're people that build case credits. So we have to be recognized. I would never be here if my team were not happy. There's no way. It's like your children. Some children want to move out. The moment they're 18, they just want to go. Both of mine are still here. It's time to go, but they're still here. So I think recognition makes people feel special, and they want to be around you more. And it's not bullying. And the last slide, thank you very much. Just before I hand over to, I've got a last one coming. Yes, it's all about the above. It's all about 4CC. So thinking about all those things, and people are probably going to be thinking, really, is that all you do? And that's all we do. But, you know, by the time we get to the 4CC, remember, we've got the goal mapping. Remember, we've got yes, we share our daily activities. We know that there's work to be done, but all this care, self-care, to make sure that when we get to do the job, we actually do the job. So what do? We have clarity that we need to be using the products. And I make it very clear, without using the products, you cannot succeed in Forever. It's not a selling business. You have to use the products to understand how you feel about the products. I say to people, there will be product training, but our product training is you and what the product does for you. Because we're not doctors. So we can't go around saying, well, you can cure this and you can cure that. But you can say, do you know, when I started to use the aloe vera gel, I could sleep better. You know, I could use the toilet better. I had a bit more energy. So I showed the team to do those things. And, you know, it's a task that we know that we decide to walk down the road and pick up those things. We have to do those things. It's important that we use the products. And also, we build, remember that we had a task to do earlier on. And here, we know that we have to do a who do you know list. We know that. But you cannot share products to people if you don't know what the products do. So we talk about what the products do. So we learn to pay attention to benefits. We learn to pay attention to building our stories. We learn to share the benefits, because these are the key background of the business. We learn to share the opportunity, because remember, if you're doing really well with your retail market, you can then share your benefit. Somebody said to me, all right, then show me how I can make £300. My goodness me, music to my ears. Not when someone says, I need to make £1,000. I know that you can, and we do, but there is a starting point. And the starting point is using the products. And of course, we learn to coach others to do the exact same thing. So if you really wanted your team to grow, I would say that these are amazing amazing tips that you can share with your team. We're family. You know, they're not workers. We're not workers. I wouldn't want to be bullied by my uplines, which they didn't. And I wouldn't want to bully my team members, my family. I would love them to think about me and love me. I would love them to want to be around me. I would love to have a celebration and have them all. When I turned 60, the whole room was all my team members. That was what it was, my own family. And so it's my pleasure to hand over to Arlene Sampson. And remember that you can ask questions right after. She's going to give us short testimony that might sound like bullying, but just don't pay attention to that one. Thank you so much, and it's been my pleasure sharing with you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Arlene Sampson, and I'm a mom of 3 beautiful daughters and a grandmother of 4. My background is in social housing. I've been a housing officer for many, many, many years. And after I was made redundant for the 3rd time, I decided to concentrate on my business. but I was not making enough money because I was not doing the activities consistently. So I spoke to my friend and mentor, Buki, and she could see that I was unhappy. She said, why don't you go back to work and, you know, do your forever part-time? So I decided to go back to work. I changed my career and I'm now a family support worker alongside my forever business. How I met Forever, I was invited by a friend to support another sister's business. When I got there, they had already tried the drink. I was so happy that I wasn't there when they tried it because I don't know if I would have still be doing Forever now. We know the Allergel's got a unique taste. Anyway, she explained the marketing plan after she told us about the products. And you know, I can earn extra income. So we were invited to attend a business presentation in the London Product Center in Fulham. I remember going there when I was leaving out to go there the Monday. One of my daughters said to me, Mom, please don't buy anything because she knows me. Anyway, when I got there, I did not understand much, but why I did not understand much, but why I understood that I could make £300 to help my last daughter with her accommodation at uni. So I joined the same night. But when I joined, I was quickly told that I need to use the products, you know, and I realized that it helped me with a health challenge that I had. And so I was able to share the benefits of how it helped my challenge. But in 2020, last year, our team decided to do a C9. And that was at the beginning of lockdown. So I said to myself, I'm fat now. When lockdown finished, I'll come out fatter because I'm not able to do anything. And I didn't want that to happen. So I did the C9, I lost some weight, and then I went on to the FIT program. And then I carry on with that same lifestyle and dance myself down to 2 dress sizes. My customers started buying more because they wanted to keep healthy in the pandemic. Then I got distracted for a couple of months or so. My CC dropped. I wasn't attending training. I wasn't attending our team training. I wasn't attending our company training. I was struggling. Then my mentor, Buki, said to me, what's going on? You see, she threatened me. She said, sis, if you don't stay focused, you see, we spoke about everything. And I told her what I needed for me and my family. And she said to me, so this job that you're doing, is it gonna help you with your retirement? I said, no. She said, you see this between the two of us here? It will not continue. You know, I valued our friendship and I didn't want that to happen. So I showed up and I've been consistent. I read more because as you heard, she talked about personal development. That's very important to us. And I started to see results. And then I became an assistant manager. You see, Sister Buki, you are such a selfless person. All you want for everyone in our team, and even not just in our team, other teams as well, to succeed. You motivate everyone. You are always positive. Zig Ziglar said, positive thinking will let you do anything better than negative thinking. And that's what you are, always positive. You are consistent, you are persistent, you are committed. You are a true leader. Leadership is not a position or a title. It's an action, an example, and you lead by example. I remember we all of us, Nigeria, around the world was on a Zoom with you, and we listened as you prospected someone. There was not a pin. Everybody just want everybody can hear a pin fall because everybody just want to hear what you were saying. So you always lead by example. You also display emotional intelligence, which I really like about you. You know, you always say, follow the right cat. If I'm not the right cat, do not follow me, follow someone else, but always follow the right cat. You see, your wisdom comes from your unwavering faith in God. So I thank you. I thank you for everything that you're doing for our team. And what I want to leave with everyone today is, I would say, show up consistently with a good attitude over a long period of time. Have faith and a burning desire. Be willing to pay the price and have integrity and the discipline to do those things, even when no one is listening, even when no one is looking. Thank you.
Did you want me to unmute myself, Sam? Okay. So does anybody have any questions? Is there anything that you'd like to find out? Do you have clarity? You can ask questions. Let me just check in the Q&A box and put my glasses on and see if I can see any questions. Open. No questions, okay, cool. So there are no questions. So we finished. Excellent, great presentation. Oh, there's one question. Where did you get that great attitude? Oh my goodness me, desperation really. I often, this is to Cherry Hornsby, I often ask people, are you happy? And I asked myself that question. And I knew that for many, many years, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy because I was an immigrant. And, I had a good life when I lived back home. And, of course, when you travel and live in another country, you have to start over. I didn't know a lot about what was going on around in the UK because I grew up in Nigeria. And so I found an opportunity, and I knew that because I wasn't happy and I was honest with myself that I wasn't happy, I knew that if I followed the system in forever, I knew that that would make me happy. And, I pray, I'm going to be honest, I believe that there's a higher being, and I believe that the higher being helps. Sometimes when you're feeling down, talk to that higher being and you'd get the answer and you'd keep smiling. How do you encourage a team member to re-interact with you when they are not responding? Well, the truth of the matter is, to be really honest with you, is that people need to, first of all, because we have a relationship with one another, I can usually tell when things are going wrong. And so, just ask them how they are. Just send a message and say, just checking on you, just wondering, how are you doing? Is everybody okay? Husband okay? If they're married, children okay? Mama's okay? Is anything that I can help and do? People love those kind of calls. People love you to check on them, actually, to be really honest. Just check on them. And you'd be amazed that would be great. We became senior managers in Dubai, and now we're without a team, and we're in Sri Lanka still continuing to do the business. Oh my goodness, that's the story of my life about 3-4 times over. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I've been there, I know. I mean, there was a time when I remember when I first arrived in the UK, I think it was about 6-7 years ago. Then I had absolutely no team. My income was ridiculous. And I was a senior manager at the time as well. And I had to rebuild. And the thing is, what I've learned is if you build on a good foundation, your team would remain. My foundation was not good because I didn't understand the things I've shared with you today. It was all about business. It was all about case credits. And the truth of the matter is, life is not just about work. Life is about, how do you feel? Are you okay? Are you okay to attend? I didn't understand all that. So of course people would go away. People are thinking she doesn't care, she just wants to make money, she just wants to see. So it's important to relearn how to interact with people, not just on a business level, on a friendship level, And I'm sure that would make a change. Team members can probably let you know that. So how do you keep yourself motivated when you have, oh my goodness me. Okay, so I don't understand negative responses. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't understand negative responses. I just think that when people say no, they're just not ready. Because I have the funniest example for young women who are wanting to date. You don't date everybody that comes to say, I really like you. You look and think, he's not my type. Or you might think, I'm not ready. And if that person really, really fancies you, they hang around until you're ready. And if they're not your type, they move on. And it's the same in our industry. So, you know, I just understand that human beings would say, it's not for me, or I'm not ready, or we just don't get on. And so we've got to understand that that's not negative, that's called choice. People are allowed to make choices. And that's the way that so I don't use the word negative, I use the word choice. And I say, well, they've chosen not to work with me for now. They've chosen not to work with me forever. Or they've chosen to work with me. So I think if we change words around as well, I think that would help. Yes, Arlene, what is keeping you on motor right now? I see your transformation. Okay, that's for Sister Arlene. Sister Arlene, would you like to answer that?
Yes, I would. I've learned how to display emotional intelligence. So when people say to me, as Sister Buki just said, then people say to me now, I know that they're not talking to me directly, they're saying no to the business. I had to learn that. And now I know that pride, so I talk to people all the time now because pride wouldn't pay my bills. So I've got bills to pay, I've got things to do, I've got places to go. So I ignore no and go back to them at a later date. So yeah, I had to learn how to be emotionally intelligent. Yeah. You muted, sis.
Oh, thank you. That's a word that we actually use a lot, being emotionally intelligent. So thank you for using that word and remembering. It says, when there is a negativity in your team, how do you handle that? Well, okay, so, and this can happen. So what I do, I'm going to be honest, is I keep an eye, I'm like a mother hen when it comes to that. It's like even in the family, when I notice that there's something going on in the family, I pull someone aside. And, you know, I usually encourage relationships, certain relationships. So when I see two people who are really doing well, I encourage that relationship. When I see someone who's not really attending meetings, trying to attach onto somebody who's focused, I make some calls. And I just call and I would say, you know, you remember why you're here. You need to be focused on why you're here. You don't want to be distracted. You know, people have their reasons for being here. Stay on your lane. And that's what I do. Yes. Because their success, to be really honest, is our success. Our success. Being here today is my team's success and Forever's success. Forever must be really feeling great that they're building leaders. And that's how we feel, because we're like flats, little apartments in Forever. So we feel excited when we see somebody growing and someone's, we don't allow people to overpower people as well. Yes. So when there's negativity, I did answer that. When faced with challenges, how do you handle them? Oh, goodness. Okay, so to be really honest with you, I cry when I'm faced with challenges. I get in my little time because I have to get the emotions out, so I don't take them out on other people. So I know that it has to come out, because one of the things that I find is that being strong and not showing your emotion to yourself and being vulnerable to the family and also to the team, it actually shows the wrong strength. So I let people know that I'm going through certain things, but I don't show those things. And then I manage those things, emotionally intelligent. Because remember, I said to you that our emotions can't pay our bills. So if you're not happy, you're thinking, you know, I'm not happy, I can't come to the meeting, so much is going on. Bills are not going to stop coming in. So I prayed, I shed some tears, And then I pull my trousers up, buckle up my trousers and get on with it, because bills have to be paid. And I always think about the team. I'm going to be honest with you. I think about my team and I think, if I show them this side, it's not professional. I need to let them know that I'm not feeling too good about. Sister Arlene knows a few things, but I know that I have to keep going. And the beauty about that is, if you've got a few people that you chat about, they say, my goodness me, with that thing, you're still going on. That's motivating as well. And they can actually see that there is a problem, and then you're still sort of swimming above that problem. That's motivating as well. You're not crumbling under that problem. So that's what I do, Victoria. Thank you so much, everyone, for asking questions. It's been really amazing working with everyone. Thank you. What is the secret of, you're looking younger, what products do you use? Oh, goodness me. Okay, well, I don't bear grudges. I don't keep malice. I try very, very hard. And I think I like to smile. I like to watch movies. I like to have family evenings. And to be really honest, I use about, the supplements I use, I think I use about different bottles of supplement. I must use about, I can't tell you, too embarrassing. I have a box of supplements I use, but my most favorite supplement is the Q10. Q10 is a beauty powder, I call it. It's a beauty powder. It helps your cells to renew themselves. And because I read that and I know, and because it helps you to look nicer, then I think, well, I could add that to my kit. And so it's one of my go-tos. But to be really honest, your thought is how you look. And I try very hard to think good thoughts. That's what I do. I try very hard. My family actually say, Mommy, you see the good in everybody. And I believe that every creature has good in them. And every person has not so good in them. You choose what side of that person that you want. And I usually make those choices. This is enlightening and such a blessing. Thank you both for stepping up. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't promise that we'd be on time. Thank you, Sister Arlene. You did an amazing job. Thank you so much. It was lovely working with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sis. It was lovely working with you.
And thank you, the office. Thank you forever for allowing us, giving us this opportunity to be honest and to be real. It's very refreshing. Thank you, everybody. I can see, thank you so much, everyone. This is amazing. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I love you all. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Thank you. We can just say thank you. This is so amazing. I was saying to my husband that Forever is the best family ever. It's the strongest umbrella. If we have any guests around here, it's the strongest umbrella. The wind cannot touch this umbrella. We're safe under this umbrella, even under the pandemic. This is amazing. Thank you, family. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sister Arlene. It was amazing. And thank you everybody. And I thank the team. I thank you all for trusting, and I thank Forever for trusting us and putting us in this position to come and share with you. Thank you. Oh, there's another question. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you for Nairobi. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much from Nairobi. Jane, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's just amazing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Sister Arlene, I love your hairstyle.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bob, because I know that Bob would have been in the know of this as well. And thank you, Sam. Sam, you do such an amazing job. And Sam, you put up with me asking questions every 5, very simple questions of that. But I'm always asking them. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So make sure that you go back. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Make sure you go back and you go and take notes and look at those simple. Forever is a very simple business. It's big, children can do it. Just follow those simple steps. and make sure you set goals. Because when you have simple steps and you have the goals, then yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, powerful testimony.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.